walking you through my entire process for scripting, shooting, and editing my UGC videos from start to finish. I'm giving you the exact steps that I take on how to turn a creative brief into authentic content that brands love. So if you've been wondering how to simplify and streamline your UGC workflow, this one's for you. Now let's get into it. So before I begin scripting, I like to read through the creative brief a few times to really get an understanding of what the brand is actually asking for. And I'm usually looking for two main things in this step: the campaign objective and the value proposition that they want me to convey. Now, some campaigns are focused solely on brand awareness. So the brand might want you to really hype up the product or show it off and get people really excited about their product or service. And other campaigns may be more focused on conversion. So the call to action might be like clicking a link to a landing page or encouraging the viewers to head on over to TikTok Shop to make a purchase. This brand in particular is actually looking to get my real-time reaction to the product. So they want me to convey my first touch impression. Knowing this exact campaign objective will help me to figure out how to properly structure my content. So now that I have a total understanding of the product, it's time to start scripting. I begin scripting by jotting down buzzwords or key phrases that really stand out to me from the creative brief. Keywords like cozy, everyday luxury, temperature regulating, things like that. Whatever feels important to the brand's message, I like to incorporate that into my script. Now, this part really doesn't have to be perfect. This is literally just a rough idea of the things that I know that I'm going to want to include in my script, and I'm just writing it down. Definitely try not to regurgitate the exact wording from the brief. Some brands want a word-for-word interpretation from scripts that they provide, but in this particular case, they want my authentic, real-time reaction of what I think about their blanket. This tells me that this script needs to be put in my exact words. Authenticity is everything in UGC, so if it sounds like I'm reading off of a script, viewers can definitely tell that, and then the content ends up falling flat. So definitely try to be as authentic as possible and try to get your real-time reaction and your genuine feelings about the product, because it'll definitely help you convey that in your videos. So once I've compiled a list of keywords and phrases that I'm happy with, this is where I'll hop over to ChatGPT to help me brainstorm words or phrases that I might be missing, or to help me just kind of structure my thoughts a little bit better. So I'll paste them from my notes and I'll ask ChatGPT to really expand on what I've already done. Then I go through and rewrite everything in my own voice. The general rule of thumb, it's our job as creators to come up with authentic material. And so I really try to only use AI as like a supplementary creative tool and not a total replacement of the creative process. So now that I've got my script exactly where I want it to be, it's time to go ahead and plan my shots. So when you're building out your shot list, I want you to keep in mind two different categories. You need to include lifestyle shots and demo shots. Your lifestyle shots essentially answers the question, how does this product fit into my daily life? So you're gonna wanna show the product being used naturally. And your demo shots includes the features and the benefits of the product. So you'll wanna be able to show close-ups, texture shots, and how the product actually works. So underneath these two categories, I want you to write out specific shots that would make sense for these categories. So for a blanket, I definitely wanna be including shots of me using it in different settings. So on my bed, on the couch, maybe draped over a chair or something. I wanna show how it fits into my everyday life. These are my lifestyle shots, so I want to convey how soft and plush this thing is. Close-up shots of me bundling up in the blanket and rubbing my face on it and showing how soft and rich in color it is. So think about shots that really makes the viewers go, wow, I really need to feel that. Your job as a UGC creator is to really sell the benefits of the product, so you need to make sure that your imagery backs that up. If you're saying it's soft, show how soft it is. If you're saying it's versatile, show it in multiple settings. All right, so our shot list is done, and now it's time to actually film this thing. So since I've got my shot list already written out, I literally treat it like a checklist. So I'll go through and I'll check off each shot as I film it. This makes the process so much easier because I'm not sitting there wondering what I need to film next or trying to come up with shot ideas on the spot. So as I'm filming, I'm just checking off each shot and I'm making sure that I'm getting a couch shot, close up of the texture, overhead shots of me wrapped up in the blanket, all the important elements that are really important to the brand. I'm making sure that there's a shot for that. Pro tip, don't be afraid to overshoot. Get multiple angles of the same shot. Get multiple takes. You can always cut stuff out in editing, but you can't add footage that you didn't film. Another pro tip, it is very, very easy to get frustrated in the filming process. Even with my shot list all planned out, sometimes when I go to execute it, the shot doesn't always turn out how I pictured it in my head. This is completely normal and it's gonna be okay. While you're shooting, just please be kind to yourself and trust your creative instinct. What I've come to learn is that sometimes the shots that you don't necessarily plan for before turn out to be the best ones. All right, so I think we have more than enough footage to work with now, so it's time to land this plane and go ahead and edit this thing. So this is the stage where you're gonna take all that raw footage that you shot and turn it into polished content that the brand is gonna be obsessed with. My editing style is pretty quick and snappy, and so I like to keep my clips between half a second to 1 second each, just long enough to register what's happening in the scene, but not so long that it drags along. One thing that's super important to remember is that UGC videos really need to move. People's attention spans these days are super short, so you want to keep things dynamic. I'm also thinking about the overall flow of the video, and I want to make sure that the visuals match what I'm saying in the voiceover to the best of my ability. So if I'm talking about how soft the blanket is, I'm showing close-ups of the texture at that exact moment. One thing I actually recommend to make editing a little bit easier for you is to record your voiceover first, then edit in your clips. Your voiceover from your script becomes the foundation of your edits, so you're cutting your clips to match what you're saying rather than trying to edit a voiceover to match your footage. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I am definitely my own worst critic. I'm seeing a few things that I could have done differently while I was shooting the content, but I'm just gonna leave it for the sake of not being nitpicky. And once I'm done editing, I usually just watch it through a few times to make sure that everything flows the way that I want it to, and then once I'm happy with it, I'll export it and send it off to the brand. And here's how the final video turned out.
My Minky Couture blanket just came in, and now that it's fall, the timing couldn't be better. All I want to do this fall is just cozy up. Give me a hot cup of tea, my journal, some moody, smooth jazz in the background. And this blanket. This is the shade Hugs Milk Chocolate, and it's literally fall in a blanket. This texture is just so smooth and plush and buttery, and the dense weight of this blanket just melts into me in the most coziest way. Y'all are probably gonna have to peel me out of this thing. Minky's social media hype isn't just hype. Use code Minky for 50% off full price blankets.
And there you have it. That's my entire process for creating UGC videos from start to finish. By following these steps, your UGC workflow is going to become so much easier and more efficient. You'll feel a lot more organized, confident, and way less overwhelmed when a creative brief hits your inbox. So if this was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want more UGC tips, be sure to hit that subscribe button because I have a lot more for you coming your way. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next one.